I've been working like I never been. I struggle every day, but I just can't let the devil in. And if I knew back then what I know right now.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Laura, and today I'm going to be doing my Booktube-A-Thon wrap-up video. I cannot believe that the Booktube-A-Thon is already over. It's been a whole week of reading and doing challenges and all that fun stuff. I was able to complete 5 of the 7 video challenges because you guys know, or most of you should know, that I was camping the last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and also Friday, but I managed to get a video up by some miracle. But Saturday and Sunday I couldn't upload. I got home late Sunday night and I was just so exhausted that I could not even think about uploading a video. So considering, I think I did decently well with that, and I was able to read 6 books throughout the week, and I completed a majority of the challenges. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys what books I read and what I thought about them in today's video. I did change up my TBR pile a little bit throughout the week, so obviously you'll see those changes in this video, but if you're interested in seeing what I read during the Booktube-A-Thon, then just continue watching. So the first book that I read for the Booktube-A-Thon is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, and this book I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved this book. Some of you guys may remember that I was actually participating in a road trip read with this book, so this is actually not the copy that I read and wrote all over because I already sent that out to the next person. I actually went and bought this copy today at Barnes & Noble because I wanted to get it because I loved it so much. This book is about a girl named Eliza who writes one of the biggest webcomic series online ever. Everybody talks about this series, everybody knows about it, but nobody knows that she's the writer, and she's very shy. She's kind of an outcast at school. Nobody really talks to her. She doesn't have many friends, but when this new boy comes to school and she finds out that he's actually a reader of her webcomic, they kind of start to click and hang out more, but she doesn't know what to do because he doesn't know she's the writer, but they talk about the comic all the time. He just thinks she's another fan, and it gets kind of crazy. I absolutely love the book so much, and I really recommend it to you if that sounds interesting. It's kind of reminiscent of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, so if you like that book, you'd probably enjoy this one as well. For me, reading this book checked off the challenge of reading a hyped book because everybody's been talking about this guy lately. So yeah, that is the first book that I completed. Next book that I read on Booktube-A-Thon Day 2 was Give Me a God I Can Relate To by Blythe Baird. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, or more so, this collection of poetry 5 out of 5 stars. And this checked off the challenge of reading a book for the cover. We bought it for the cover. So that's what I used for this one, and I absolutely loved this book. Like I said before, I already knew that I loved Blythe's poetry, so obviously I was going to be giving it 5 out of 5 stars and really enjoying it. But yes, I love this one a lot, and that knocked off that challenge. Next book I read was Did I Mention I Miss You? And this was for the challenge of reading a book with somebody on the cover, even though a lot of the books that I read had people on the cover. That was just the challenge that I designated this one for. And this one I actually only finished up. I only had like 100 or so pages left, but I just considered it to be a full book. And even though I gave this book like 3.5 or 4 stars, I did enjoy it, but I do have to say that I did enjoy the first and second book of the trilogy better than this one. I don't know, this one just felt a little bit rushed at the end, like the series was like ending and they had to put everything in the last couple pages. So yeah, I don't know, I preferred the first 2, but it was still like a good end to the series, and I'm glad I finished it. Okay, so the next book that I have here is Paper Hearts by Ali Novak, and as you can see, there's still a bookmark in there. I got to page 63 and I decided that this book just wasn't for me. And so I read the first book in the series and I did enjoy it. I read it 2 years ago, so I don't know if it was just like 2 years ago Laura enjoyed it and now she doesn't like it, but I got to page 63 and I was just like, I'm not enjoying this book. It's just kind of like not great. Like, you guys know there's good contemporaries and then there's not so good contemporaries, and this just kind of felt more towards this side of the spectrum. I wasn't really feeling it, and I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and make myself read something that I don't want to read at all because I know that I won't finish it and then my whole Booktube-A-Thon will get screwed up. So I just put this down because I was like, I don't want to read this anymore, and it was just like not my cup of tea. I don't know if any of you guys have read this, let me know your thoughts on it. I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but I got to page 63, so that doesn't really count. I didn't count this towards my Booktube-A-Thon goal. I was just gonna read this to read 7 books, but I didn't even do that. So yeah, I put this one down. In putting that one down, I decided to pick up Misbehaving by Abby Glines. And as I said before, there's a spectrum of contemporary. There's good and then there's kind of bad. A lot of people would probably put this on like the more trashier bad side of contemporary, and I kind of agree. It is kind of like a trashy, not great contemporary, but I just have like this infatuation with this series. I absolutely love reading them. I don't know why. It's like watching the Kardashians. Like, I can't stop. It's this series. It reminds me of that. So I decided to reread this book because I have read it before and I did enjoy it, and it's just kind of like fast-paced. It feels like you're watching a movie almost when you read this book. So I brought this camping and I read this. It didn't really count towards the challenge. I mean, there's people on the cover. I think I read it in like one day. I read it outside. So like it could have been any of those challenges, but yeah, I just decided to pick that up. So I read that for Booktube-A-Thon as well. Next book that I read is It Looked a Lot Like Love by Christina Haynes. This is another collection of poems, and this checked off the challenge of reading a book outside. I read this completely while I was camping. A lot of the books I read outside because I was camping, so that's kind of cool. But this was a collection of poetry, as I said, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Not as much as my Queen Blythe, but I did like it. I did enjoy it, and I recommend it for people that like romantic poetry and stuff like that. It was really cute and short, so that was good. The next book I have here is On the Fence by Cassie West, and this is a book that I also did not finish. I actually started it yesterday on Sunday of the Booktube-A-Thon, and I thought that I would get through it, but I got home from camping at like 10 o'clock at night, and I was just exhausted. Like, I could not sit there and physically make myself read. Like, I had to go to bed. I was so tired, so I didn't get to finish it, but I'm definitely going to continue reading this book because I am really enjoying it, and it's really cute. So I'm like on page 111, and I'll probably finish it either today or tomorrow or something. But it's not because I didn't like it that I didn't finish it, it's just because I didn't have enough time. So yeah, this was going to be the one that I chose for reading a book with a character that's not really like you, but a lot of the books that I read, like Misbehaving and Eliza and Her Monsters and so on, those books I really don't relate to either, so you could really say one of those completes that challenge as well. So I'm going to say I did that challenge because it kind of counts, but this was the book I was going to read for that, but whatever. I'm almost done with it. I'm excited to finish it. And the last book that I have to share with you guys is Whisky, Words, and a Shovel by R.H. Sin, which is another book that I was not originally going to read. I was going to read a book by David Levithan, which was like another kind of poetry verse book, but I decided to pick this one up yesterday while I was at the beach camping still, and I read this in one day, which completes that challenge. But this is just a poetry book. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. It was a little bit on the sad side. It had a lot to do with like romantic relationships, but it was all really like sad stuff and like breakup-y, so I didn't really like that aspect of it, but it was good poetry that I enjoyed reading. So yeah, I finished that book, 4 out of 5 stars, and I read it in one day, so that completes that challenge. So overall, I completed 6 of the 7 challenges. The only one that I did not complete is the Read 7 Books challenge because I did not get to finish On the Fence, but honestly, I think I did pretty good for somebody that, 1, decided to join the Booktube-A-Thon the day it started, and 2, somebody that was camping for 3 days and was doing other stuff. So I think I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm not mad that I didn't complete 7 books or that I didn't finish my video challenges, but I hope you guys did enjoy the video challenges that I put up, and I hope that you guys had a great Booktube-A-Thon and you enjoyed reading and doing challenge videos if you did them. Let me know how you did with the Booktube-A-Thon down below. I would love to hear about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel down below. But thank you guys so much. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.
I've been working like I never been. I struggle every day, but I just can't let the devil in.